Welcome to 50 Nights of Fright. I'm Tommy, joined today with Brian.
That's me.
We're going to be discussing John Carpenter's The Thing. Brian, I know you're not the biggest horror movie fan.
I'm what they call a scaredy cat.
But you did decide to join us on this and take out one of probably the best horror movies on the list.
It is, definitely one of the ones that have stood the test of time for sure. We're looking at, 1982 this came out?
Yeah.
And here it is, 2025 we're still talking about.
Yeah, well, John...
So talking about all the crazy shenanigans that took place during the movie.
Yeah, John Carpenter was just absolutely on a hit after hit run. My dad and I discussed that recently, and The Thing, of course, is the one that kind of set the gold standard for horror movies at the time.
Also, the basis of Among Us, the video game. They took the whole idea of The Thing during COVID and created this Among Us game where 1 to 2 people were an alien or an imposter.
Right. Based on a short story or a novel, it was made into a movie back in the 50s. That one wasn't so great, but I think this is one of the examples of the remake that did it better than the original.
Agreed.
Well, were there any scenes in the movie that definitely stood with you, or anything that...
Well, are we talking about good or bad?
Either.
Well, I will tell you the scene that got me, that, basically I'm scarred for life. I'm scared. When it comes to horror movies, sometimes I can't even get through trailers because the anxiety it gets to me so much. It has to be when they're going to perform CPR.
Oh yes,
and clinks in, and then the mouth comes in and chomps down on dude's hands. That is by far one of the craziest scenes that was in the movie that I remember. And then also the melding of the people, the melting them together. Now I will say that since I've seen The Thing, and I knew what was going on with it, I did watch the remake that had Christopher or Eric Olsen and what's her name from Robin Tooney from The Craft. I did watch that remake, and they went way too big on the special effects and not the story. But that was also another one of the scenes. Just when they started to blend together. The whole assimilation thing really got me. But definitely the hands, the mouth coming in, and then the monster with the face.
Yes.
The head that you knew, that you've grown to know throughout the rest of the movie. Is now just a placard on this alien body.
Absolutely. What sticks out to me the most is the scene where they're testing the blood. It really kind of builds the tension. It plays on the paranoia that they feel, which one of them is infected, and the first couple they're saying, "Oh, this is just a crock. This isn't gonna show us anything," and then finally, the blood reacts, and then, oh, he was right, and they're all shouting, "Get us off the couch! Get us!" So
get us away from this dude. We're tied up next to him.
Yeah, it's I absolutely love the playing on the paranoia the most. The Thing has been adapted into board games. There's a video game sequel.
There's an actual Outpost 31 is the name of the board game.
Yes.
It's really, really good.
Yeah. I think The Thing, for me, has absolutely cemented itself in the zeitgeist of horror, that taking that spot in 80s sci-fi horror. What do you think? Is this a good example of horror? Does it belong on this list?
I think this was horror personified back when horror was still trying to learn its identity. John Carpenter, again, you already said he hit a home run, he hit a grand slam. Dude knocked it out of the park with this. And like I said, this was the end all beat all of horror before people knew really what horror was. There's so many different types. There's the gore horror, there's the thriller horror, the mental But by all means, this one wraps it all into one nice little package and gives it to a little kid who's not going to be able to sleep for a little bit.
All right. Now, if you were to give this a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, now, take into account you're not a horror person,
right.
But what would you give it?
Well, I have seen a lot of horror movies because, you know, being someone who really gets into the movies, I come across people like yourself that are hardcore horror movie fans, and they want to discuss it. So what I end up having to do is I end up having to go psych myself up by reading like the synopsis of the story, and then going in slow motion, fast forward through the movie, so I get used to the jump scares, and then I end up watching it. It's a big to do to get in this, but like normally you would say, well, it doesn't give you a definitive answer at the end, and that would kind of knock off points, you know, because you really don't want that cliffhanger ending. And you know, there was supposed to be a sequel to this that got trashed like back in the day, but I mean, I think the ending is the best part. The ending is the best part of this. You know, I would love to have seen a prequel with the Norwegians, you know, because you know they showed up early in the movie trying to kill the dog. Like they knew the dog was an alien. So like, is there a Norwegian base that has a thing in it? You know, like you don't really know. Mm-hmm. Like, was there other things that were just at other bases? But anyway, keeping all that in mind, man, I would give it a 9. Only because I don't want to give it a 10 because I haven't fully vetted all of the horror movies. But I would say this is about as good as it gets when it comes to horror movie. The right amount of gore, the right amount of mental play, the right amount of jump scares. I mean, it's perfect. The only thing that I hate is in horror movies is, man, the dogs always get a bad rep, man. The dogs are always the carrier of something. Stephen King's Dreamcatcher, right? Like at the end, hey, we got to get the dog to take the aliens to go dump in the water. Oh, Aliens 3, Aliens 1, you know, oh, let's get the dog, you know. I don't know, like, I hate it for the poor dog, but I mean, he has to go.
I hated Dreamcatcher because of the butt leeches.
Yeah, butt leeches.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us on today's episode of 50 Nights of Fright. Be sure to tune in tomorrow where we discuss George Romero's Creep Show.